Good afternoon. Let me introduce my PhD topic, which is about 3D printing in dentistry. My name is Németh, and I'm a second-year resident at Department of Prosthodontics. And my vision is a high-quality digital prosthodontic treatment using 3D printing technology as a daily routine. And to reach that, I would like to bring 3D printing to the clinical practice. Here you can see my specific goals, where I would like to evaluate the accuracy of this technology through 3D printed dental models and fixed dental restorations. So my first project is investigating the accuracy of 3D printed dental models compared to digital reference model. The biggest breakthrough in dentistry was the advent of CAD/CAM technology because it provides precise dental restorations and time-saving manufacturing. It comprises additive manufacturing, as known 3D printing or rapid prototyping, where the three-dimensional object is made up layer by layer. The importance of this topic is shown by the increase in the number of publications. There are several types of different 3D printers with different technologies, and the problem is that the results about the precision of this technique is different as well. There are several cases where the accuracy of the dental device is crucial. For example, if the implant location in a dental model is inaccurate, the prosthesis made on it will be not precisely fitting and unusable. So we need more evidence about the dimensional accuracy of this technique, and our aim is to evaluate this accuracy. Our question: what is the accuracy of 3D printed dental models? And our hypothesis is that the accuracy is within the clinically accepted threshold, regardless printer type. Our population are dental models made by 3D printing compared to the digital reference model, and as an outcome, we would like to know how accurate they are. I made my systematic search on these 4 databases with this search key. I had 16,000 articles, and after the selection, I ended up with 34 eligible articles. I already started my risk of bias assessment with QuadAS2. Because of the heterogeneity of the included studies, we needed to make subgroup analysis according to these factors which have the greatest effect on the printing accuracy. The first one is layer thickness, because it has the biggest effect to the surface quality. We can see the difference between running the printing on 100 or on 16 microns. The second point is model design. According to a study, this upper horseshoe-shaped model is significantly less accurate than those models which have these connection parts. And the third one is measuring level. Some authors measure the accuracy on the full arch, and some of them making smaller segments and measuring the accuracy there. The software making the superimposition between the reference and the printed models can express the discrepancy with different values, for example with root mean square value or with mean difference. RMS has an equation to calculate the differences in positive values because of the square, and the deviation is only the mean difference between the measured data, but we needed to separate those articles with these different measuring methods. So I ended up with 5 subgroups, and I would like to show you 2 subgroup results. According to the extracted data, we are able to make a network meta-analysis where we can compare the different technologies to the control group and the different technologies to each other as well. And we can make both direct and indirect evidence across the network of studies. And we can make a rank between the technologies and to stand up a hierarchy between the treatments. In this first subgroup, where the measuring level is arch level, I had 4 different technologies. Here you can see a leak heat plot, which contains the deviation results for all of possible treatments pairs with 95% confidence interval. The comparison should be read from left to right. So, for example, if we would like to compare PolyJet technology to the control group, the reference model, we can see the deviation is 76 microns, or in case of DLP technology is 81. Both of them are statistically significant differences. But we can compare two treatments to each other, PolyJet to DLP, which is only 4.85. Here in the forest plot, we can see the first row of the previous leak heat plot. We can see the null axis line, which has the value of the reference model. In this case, it's 0. On the y-axis, we can see the different treatments. On the x-axis, the mean difference. Our clinically accepted threshold is 120 microns. So we can see that PolyJet, DLP, and SLR technologies are within the clinical tolerance. However, the difference is statistically significant. Here another subgroup, which the measured level is tooth level with 4 different technologies. You can see the leak heat plot here. And as seen on the forest plot, we can say that all the technologies performed within the clinical tolerance. And the reason is the measuring level, because if we examine the shrewness on smaller areas, the distortion is much moderate. As a summary, the strength of this research are that we can combine both direct and indirect comparisons, and so the evidence of the practical applicability is much higher, but we have missing details about printing parameters, and the outcome parameters are inconsistent. But as a conclusion, the most commonly used technologies are SLR and DLP. On tooth level measurements, each technology were within clinical tolerance, and on arch level measurements, SLR, DLP, and PolyJet were within clinical tolerance, but the other ones were not suitable for that. As a clinical implication, we can use these SLR, DLP, and PolyJet technologies for full arch model production, but the other ones are not suitable for that. And from the research perspective, a standardized accuracy assessment protocol for 3D printing is necessary to facilitate performance comparing, and future studies should involve a standardized reporting protocol about printing details like materials used, storage conditions, and post-processing procedures. My second project is investigating the accuracy of additive manufacturing of fixed dental restorations compared to subtractive manufacturing. CAD/CAM systems are divided to subtractive and additive manufacturing. We use milling for over 30 years now, but 3D printing is a much younger technology. But we accept the same precise result from both of these technologies. However, there are many differences. The main difference is material wastage. In case of milling, the wastage can be 90% because we remove the material from the workpiece, and the remaining material cannot be reused. Complex parts with hollow cavities and intricate shades can easily be produced during 3D printing, but milling has limited capabilities because of the size of the milling burr. So as we can see, there are a lot of benefits of 3D printing, but we need more information about marginal and internal precision of these restorations. So our aim is to evaluate the accuracy of fixed dental restorations made by additive manufacturing. Our question, what is the accuracy of these restorations? And our hypothesis is that fixed restorations using 3D printing are significantly more accurate than those made by subtractive manufacturing. And if we have our results, maybe we can establish 3D printing as more accurate, cost-effective, and time-efficient manufacturing method of the digital workflow. I would like to finish my project this summer, and let me finish my presentation with my favorite quote. Just remember, you can't climb the ladder of success with your hands in your pockets. Thank you very much.
Do we have access to these 3D printing in dentistry in Hungary?
Yes. Yes, of course. There are websites where we can download some STL files, and if we have just a reprep printer, which is quite cheap, we can print actually anything.
Congratulations, an interesting topic that you have. What I would like to ask actually regarding your implication for practice, you were saying that to use 3 of the methods, don't use the other 3.
Yes.
I'm just curious, because of course I'm not a specialist in this topic, what is the current method that, for example, generally, I mean 3D printing is not so general to use, only in a couple of places probably, or only for research purpose.
So what are the difference between those 3 technologies and the other ones?
I mean, generally how it is done nowadays, how it is done, what is the current practice? It's not 3D practice, it is not 3D printing as I know.
Actually, in dentistry, clinical practice.
Yes, yes.
Actually, we use this technology now, but as I can see, nowadays we use the newest technologies without that we know the results about that. So we use them, especially those DLP, SLA, and PolyJet technologies, because they are especially for dental practice.
Is it widely available?
Yes, yes.
So it is, because I was just thinking if, for example, in some of the places they are still making the dental model with the old practice, I don't know, manually or with those methods, actually at those places, even those methods would be beneficial, which are not, which don't have such a good result, but probably they are more, they are cheaper and more accessible. And even those could have been used instead of the general methods.
Yes, of course, these conventional analog methods are still usable, but for research and for this digital dentistry, we would like to evaluate these technologies. We can use them. We use those analog techniques for a lot of years now. We know them, but we would like to innovative things to use, like 3D printing.
Thank you for your excellent presentation. So if I understand it correctly, you can 3D print anything. Do you use 3D printing in implantation as well? And how high is the chance for rejecting or rejection of this kind of implants if they are used? Thanks.
Thank you for your question. Yes, we use this technique for surgical guides. So for implants, we can plan the surgery, actually, and we have these guides put into the mouth, and through them we can implement this implant into the bone. And according to my knowledge, these are more precise surgeries, and the implants are better and last longer.